Hi reseller friends and thrifters, it's Yvonne. It's time for Thrifted for Resale number 38. This covers about the last, 3 Thrift With Me trips where I'm live at the thrift store, and you can kind of go shopping with me. I try to go slow because some people like that kind of video. Some people just like the thrift haul, which is what this is. This will be the thrift haul review, talking about things in a little more detail. And I also do the what sold, and then some miscellaneous panel shows, tips, whatever. Some fun stuff too, some fun reseller day off stuff. I might add a little bit of vegan stuff somewhere in a playlist too for those of you that are curious about how that's been going. It's been, 2.5 weeks? And already my ring's starting to twirl. Like, I'm not really doing it to lose weight. I mean, I could stand a few pounds, but I'm doing it more for health reasons. Anyways, so it's been a challenge to find some new products, to satisfy me. But anyways, so some of you have asked about that, and I'll talk about that every once in a while. Okay, so let's get started. There is some fun stuff. As you guys, some of you, if you go thrift with me, if you watch those videos, you've seen some of this, but you'll get to look at it a little more closely. And I'll talk about what I found out about some of these items and what I'm going to price them at, what platform. All right, let's get some clothing out of the way. So I did buy some clothing. I usually just do that by myself. I usually don't film that part of it in the Thrift With Me videos. But I do love selling clothing. I used to sell predominantly clothing. So anyways, I'll pick up some unusual pieces. This sheer mesh embroidered flower little shirt jacket with the peplum, Damie. And when I looked these up, their resale value is pretty good. Average is about 30 to 40. Some of their jackets can go up to over 100, a little over 100. So, and you can tell the quality. You can really tell the quality. There's some like space dye looking embroidery. Let me slow down. Peplum is what I mean by this, like this bottom treatment, okay? Where it kind of at the waist, it kind of flares back out. Looks like we've got a little bit of bell sleeves. Nice mesh fabric. Let me see the price tag. I lost it. I must have already took it off. There it is. I got it. Sorry. $5.99. So I'll probably put this up for about $46. Because I usually do buy it now, best offer on eBay. And then even on Poshmark, you kind of want to leave a little wiggle room for offers or when they have the make a deal days. Because they also tie that into a contest on Poshmark. Anyways, let's see. Oh, and this, okay, it's saving money and making money. So I buy things for myself, of course, but sorry, there's a hair on me. But I'm always looking through the men's Levi's for, some vintage Levi's stuff, especially, the Big E, whatever. What is that? Okay, here we go. So I didn't find any Big E, but I found some orange tab. Let me talk about these. And the reason they're not for sale is I have to keep these. I had a pair of these in the 90s, and they were the best fitting Levi's I've ever had. I had them since like the 80s, and so they were all worn in, and after a while, they just kind of fit you perfect. But this particular pair of 517s, it's not like the new boot cut that they switched to in the late 80s and 90s? These started, I think, in 69, this silhouette of 517. I think started 1969 and ran through to the early 80s. Darn it. I'll tell you guys later. Anyways, because I have a whole bin full of vintage Levi's. That's going to be a whole dedicated, probably 2 or 3 series video on its own. Because vintage Levi, you really want to be careful because you could leave money on the table real easy. Some of that stuff goes for high dollar, especially over to Japan. Anyways, back to these. So these are the orange tab, not the Big E, but the orange tab. The older school silhouette where they get narrow and then flare back out a little. Kind of like that cool hippie rocker look, okay? And a little bit high-waisted in the back. And a longer, leaner pocket. So they have everything they need to be authentic, including the Levi, the special Levi on the zipper and the grommets. What did I pay? $12.99, not on sale or anything. But I'm so excited because they say 33, so they're probably about a 32. And the inseam is definitely, because you know shrinkage, the inseam is definitely more of a 34, 35. So I get to replace my jeans that I lost. They were all nice and faded. I had some patches on them. Oh my gosh. So I'm kind of excited. But this particular style, if I were to sell it, would be somewhere around $80 to $100 for this style. Again, it's not the Big E, but it's still definitely vintage, and this is a highly sought after silhouette, okay? They're real cool, slim fit rocker, kind of like these rock revivals that I'm wearing now. Slim and narrow, and then just past the knee they flare out a little. The 517s of today are more of a, like they copied Wrangler, which I don't know why, that they're more of that kind of a boot cut. Okay, like cowboy boot cut instead of a flare. So there's a lot to know about Levi's, and I've got a whole bin that I've been saving, and I will tackle that soon. And I will film it because it's going to be a lot of research, and I want to help throw out my research into the world because there's a lot of misunderstandings. So I will definitely be very thorough on going through that. That's why it'll probably be about a 2 or 3 series. It'll be kind of a slow process because I can't just dedicate a whole week, you know, to that. Anyways, the other clothing items, I thought I would resell this. This is pretty, isn't it? This is a Miss Me, like from the buckle, typically from the buckle, but some people don't realize this. Miss Me started out a country western brand, and then they did, it's kind of like a collab or special label for, they still say Miss Me, but they make exclusive styles for the buckle, okay? Because you can go to Western stores and buy Miss Me, but you won't get the exact same patterns as what you would find at the buckle. They got some kind of deal going on. Anyways, this is Miss Me Vintage. I don't know if that's going to show. Miss Me Vintage, okay? Really pretty. Faux suede microfiber, beaded, and that's faux fur. Nice little treatment on the back, right? Okay, so I did pay up for this $14.99 because I knew resale value on it would probably be around 50-ish because the condition's great. Probably over on Poshmark would be a better place for it. But I tried it on. Yeah, I tried it on. So now, at first I wasn't going to keep it because it had fringe all down these sides. I cut it off because it made you just look so bulky, like fringe was everywhere down here. And I said, ooh, this is a slight design flaw. Let me make this better. And I trusted myself that even if I decided not to keep it, I could still sell it like this and disclose why I did it and that someone's going to agree. But I'm probably going to keep it. Anyway, so I cut off a lot of the fringe up here and some of the sides and a whole row. I took this whole row out here to show the pockets. And it's a much nicer look on. So anyways, resale value on it would be about $50. If it's in good condition. Okay, some of y'all need to stop laughing right now. You really do. This is a church suit, I know. There's a skirt with it. It's got the rhinestones. Royal blue. Oh my gosh. It's got a long midi skirt with a slit up to here with this treatment as well, up the side slit. It's a church suit again, but we are going to do 80s and 90s clothing like never before. It's going to hit a little harder. The deal is there are people that are fashion. I've said this before, so bear with me if you've heard me say this. The deal is there are people that are very fashion forward. And then it takes a little while for it to be in the media and enough people to see it out and about for the next group of people that are a little bit more outgoing to be like, okay, I want to wear some, Repops or true retro clothing too. So it kind of moves in waves. So we are moving a lot heavier into the 80s and 90s of the retro clothing. So there will be an occasion where this is going to be so perfect and so fun to rock as a little late 80s, 90s outfit. It was half price. I paid $16.99, so it was half price. Excuse me. $8.50 plus tax, of course. So think like Dynasty, Daryl Hannah and the Firm, some Demi Moore stuff, some Julia Roberts stuff from the 90s. I can't think of who else would be iconic. I really want to say like Dynasty. Remember Dynasty or Dallas, like Sue Ellen? And who was the Dynasty lady? So pretty, Linda Evans. So this is going to be so worth $8.50 plus tax to have so much fun with this. I'm going to keep this. But resale value. Oh yeah, sorry, I got so excited about this. Resale value on this little church outfit. Slightly padded shoulders and everything. And double-breasted. Hello. Okay. Resale value on this is probably somewhere around $80. Okay. It's not a real high-end label. Mercedes, New York. It is made in USA. But yeah, I call these church suits. So, or some people might say mother of the bride if they're not quite so bling, like more lacy, right? But church suits. So that's the fun there. Just so you know, some people go, oh, that's tacky. Well, they have some resale value, and that's going to have some fun value. Okay, so a couple more clothing pieces here, vintage. So, I still look at clothing, you guys. I just don't do a lot of the bread and butter stuff. I try to keep it at a better price point, too. So this is a vintage little... Probably Hong Kong. I can't remember. I got this. Hong Kong, yeah. These typically are vintage, very vintage Hong Kong little sequin shell top, shell or a top or a tank with the back zipper. This one is immaculate. It's not so easy to find one, even though they weren't worn, you know, a lot because it's like a special occasion piece. Still, they're very, very vintage, and so it's still hard to find one that's in good shape or no moth holes on the inner lining. Isn't this beautiful? All the dangles are there. So this one I'll probably put up for about just somewhere around 40. So I paid $6 for it. That's super cute. And then one more vintage piece. This is to die for. Okay, so think the Breakfast Club, pretty in pink, and a current show that is set in the late 70s now. I think they're in the 80s. Stranger Things. Like this is something one of the girls would wear. Okay, there, focus. Okay, isn't that adorable? So, the fabric is so fresh and crisp still. What's the brand? Jarrell. 5/6, all cotton. But do you see that waist treatment? And then the flare out skirt. So cute. And this can also cross over like the 50s housewife look, rockabilly girls, Western. This can cross over to Western with the right accessories. And then just anyone that wants to do a vintage retro look. So because of the freshness and the crispness, and it actually still retained its matching belt, I paid $8.99, and I will probably start this at about 50, and it'll probably end up selling just under 50, like around 40, 45. I'm going to hold out for that because of the freshness of the fabric still, like it's as if it's not been washed and worn a lot. Okay, so that was exciting for clothing. Oh, the deal here, this is just a belt I had, but it's just beaded, and I just had it, and I thought, oh, I'm going to wear it with this. So that's what that is. And then, oh, let's do the Tory Burch. And then I said, do you guys know what these are? Anyways, Tory Burch. These are the Whitney boot. They are leather. They have gold metal trim. The Whitney boot. Size, in case someone wants to catch them before they go up, size 8.5 medium. They're currently reselling at around $80 to $120. Yeah. So this is going to pay for a lot of that haul, which I didn't film a lot of that because I was doing clothing. But if you want to think about clothing and you haven't yet, start recognizing some of these good labels, signatures. Because Tory Burch does show up in the thrift stores. Yeah, like if you follow the reselling community that does clothing, you'll see Tory Burch does show up. But anyways, these are in such good shape. I shouldn't have any problem getting around 80 for them. Just throw them in the queue with the other ones. There's a couple of them already sold, I think, in the last 6 weeks. And there's a couple more for sale. These will go on several platforms. Okay. Tory Burch, 8.5, the Whitney, if anybody wants to catch it before it goes up. Takes me a while to get things up sometimes. It's just me. A vintage purse. Let me come in. See the pretty, like, kind of like a pearlized glass marble. And then crochet with beading. This is not a Hong Kong or Taiwan. This is made in Italy. I think that's going to give it a little bit more value. I wished I knew the actual brand though, but anyways, it's in great shape. Nothing's missing. Not dirty or overused. Half price. Get this, $1.50. I just sold a Joseph glass beaded purse from France. What did I get for that? You'd have to go look at my solds. I haven't done a what sold video in a long time. Some people like those, which I'm okay doing, but it's just so much easier just to go to someone's store that, you know, people you like and trust, and look at the solds. Granted, all solds don't always show up. This is true. And it only goes back, what, 90 days? But I do that constantly. I have a long list of other resellers, reseller YouTubers, reseller friends that I follow, and just interesting stores where I'm learning. And I just look at solds all the time. One thing leads to another. You go down a rabbit hole, but I always learn something. So, my store, Mile High Scene, I've started adding the link down in the description. There's a lot of information down in the description, including my address. If anybody, I want some people to send me some postcards or something and tell me yes or no if I can give a shout out. I want to start a postcard like thing somewhere of all my reseller friends on YouTube. Okay, so this one I'm not sure the price. It's not going to be as great as the one that had the glass beads that I just sold. These are just plastic beveled beads, but really cute. So always check these kind of things, definitely. Probably I'm going to guess that one is somewhere around 30 is what I'm guessing. The Italy is what's going to help me with that. I got some big things. So, yeah, thrift with me. I did finally get this. I was sorry I didn't get it the first time around, and it was still there when I went back for the half price. So I'm like, well, okay, we have to do it now. $5, and it's a Hager. Let me see. There it is. So it has the tag. It's a Hager. So, but I passed it up the first time, so I'm like, I'm not shipping that. I'm not shipping that. I'm not shipping you. But then I thought, oh, just sell it locally. Sell it on Facebook Marketplace. What is wrong with you? Or, you know, put it up on something and somebody can come get it. There's got to be somebody local that collects Hager, right? And wants to add this. And then it has that nice, like color from the 90s as well. Late 80s, 90s, this peachy color. So, I don't know how much for this planner. It's in great shape. Still has the tag. I'm guessing I can probably get about 40 for it. I'm guessing. It's not ornate, but ginger jar kind of shape. Urn shape. So $5 is pretty exciting. And if I'm wrong, well then I just started my own Hager collection, didn't I? So, okay. Let's look at some of these smalls. I've got 2 IKEA bags down here too, guys. Let me pull them over. Oh, I'm so excited. This is from the Goodwill, if you do the thrift with me. This is from the Goodwill that was doing the remodeling. Remember when I said, man, they've pulled down all the shelves from the special wall that we usually do together, and I think they're pricing this stuff coming out really cheap because they're like, where am I supposed to put all this stuff? And there was dust everywhere. Remember that one at the Goodwill, my favorite Goodwill up the street? So I found 2 of these rooster wall pockets. Okay, there's 2. I want to bring one up closer though. Okay. The back just says made in California, USA, and then what is that, CP, oh, it's over here, CWP. So there are a lot of California pottery houses back in the, whatever, the vintage. And a lot of them just say made in California or made in Calif. And it's sometimes can be hard to figure out, well, which house did it come from? And perhaps it doesn't matter too much. I think they're all, I don't think any one stands out. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And I think they're all about in the same price range, I think. Anyways, this one's pretty nice. It has some things about it. Let me come in. See the gilded, the shiny gold. So, and wall pocket. That's what we mean by that, right? The holes to put it on the wall. So like Hollywood Regency style. I really like these. So there are a couple for sale and sold. I know that it's not catching it very well, is it? Because it's the white color. There, that's better. They're big too, aren't they? So I paid a little up for these. $5 a piece, but I just thought they're so epic. Let me back up. Oh, okay. It's the white, y'all. So I'm pretty excited about those. If I don't end up keeping them, or Mary doesn't want them, I'll probably put them up on several platforms for about 40. For about 40. I think that's fair. Okay. Let me get this out of the way. And then another piece I pulled from there, I just kind of pointed to the cart. Remember I was telling you, I just, like, you're not allowed to pick through the cart as they are putting stuff away. But they know me, so I just kind of, I'm respectful, so I just kind of pointed. And so she pulled out the things I wanted, and then we just kind of walked a little bit, and then she gave them to me. So, isn't this cute? It's not attributed to anyone, and there are several for sale, different platforms. Usually around 40-ish is what I saw. If they're in good condition like this one is. It does have some gold gilding as well. I don't know if it's showing up very well. Frog and a ladybug. Let me see if we can. Yeah. Some bright metallic gold gilding accents on it. Weighs about 2 pounds. Super cute. So I'll probably just put mine in the queue for about 30, 38, 42. See what happens. Remember, I always like to leave a little negotiation wiggle room. And I'm not worried about sliding in under anyone at all. So these aren't like high competition items. They're a little bit long tail. There's not a ton of them. Just put it in the queue and wait. Have better pictures, have a better description, kind of convey some trust, right, and some sincerity. And sometimes yours will sell better, or it will get, because your pictures are better, or your keyword title is better. Google, search, other search engines, eBay's search engine will pull yours up before someone else. And also, some people don't know this, and they get frustrated, but it's right in the rules. When eBay wanted to make shipping as quickly as possible, they will show you things that you're searching for that are closest to your zip code first, okay? So that's why sometimes you might see a different search results. They're just trying to be as efficient as possible. I know, we're not going to rag on eBay. I love eBay. Just like us, we do great things. We do, and we do some fails, okay? So that's something that has good sides and bad sides. So just bear with it. This was $1.29. It still has the tag on it. Let me show you this. It just says Marshall Studio, and then probably that's an artist. Some more information there. So I just liked the quality of it, this earthenware, this stoneware. So I looked it up. It's a nicely glazed, like 3D relief. Marshall Studio is a thing. This plate is worth probably about $15 to $20 by itself. You should see some of their lamps. I saw some lamps that just sold in the last few weeks for like $200, $300. So they make a lot of pottery and earthenware, and some of it is really good price. So remember that Marshall Studio. Kind of look at, you know, their signature style is, you know, like what I did with this kind of like milky glazing. And this kind of whimsical Ray Dunn looking, I mean, this is probably pre-Ray Dunn, of course, but anyway, so learn something new. make a little money off of that one. Definitely you want to, if you're like me and learning and want to expand, Marshall Studio Pottery. Okay, Orchids of Hawaii. They make a lot of these kind of novelty mugs. Typically, I find them for the tiki, like the tiki bars. And some of them are, they're usually like resale values, usually like under 15s. Every once in a while, there'll be something that's way, way better. This seems to have been made. I saw some for Benihana at the thrift store. I didn't buy that one. And other like Asian places, let's say. This one seems to have a little bit more value, would be a little bit more rare. I haven't quite dated it yet. You guys just cannot see the white stuff, can you? There. So I'll finish the dating on this and see what I come up with. I think it's going to be worth a little bit more than the typical $10 to $15 of your like Orchids of Hawaii tiki mug. So we tried her for half price, $3.49, well, $1.75, I guess. Half price, $2. No maker's mark. I'm a little confused by this one. I need a little help. Like, is this pressed glass? There's no seams. There's no mold seams. But yet for cut glass, because it has that cut to clear. You see that bevel, that cut to clear? So I'm like, usually they're a little bit sharper. Like the edges are a little sharper. So I'm like, well, either this is really a great job, even like the ponto area, if it's was hand blown. I don't know, I'm a little confused. It's just a little bit too nice to not be a high-end piece with a maker's mark, is my thinking, on my limited knowledge of this kind of stuff. But if it's pressed glass, why are there no mold marks? Anyways, cut to clear, some frosted, some bamboo for $2. I'm like, this is really pretty. If I can't find out anything else about it, I guess I'll just have to sell it on style using the keys we just talked about. Search by pictures. No one can help me with this yet. None of like Google Lens or anything. That hasn't really helped me. But it's got to be worth more than $2. Really nice. Only 3 of these, but this was kind of interesting to me. And it got more interesting as I researched. Okay, these are Westmoreland. I don't know. Can you see inside there? That's not going to happen. A little bit. My camera tried. It's Westmoreland. This is called English Hobnail. I started with diamond cut because I wasn't familiar, but I learned it's called English Hobnail. But starting with diamond cut for my research, that was very reasonable. That was a reasonable place to start, right? So, Anchor Hawking does something similar to this, and it's called, is it called Princess? Darn. I think it's called Princess. But these are Westmoreland sherbet glasses, dessert glasses, and no one online sold recently in the look back or for sale now on several platforms or even using Google search has this in this satiny frosted pink. So I'm really confused. I'm still working on these. They are beautiful. The clear ones, there's a lot of clear ones and a lot of pink ones, but not frosted like this. So I'm looking closer going, okay, did these just get dishwater hazing? Is that what that is? But no, that's not it. So I want to do more research on these 3. They're all perfect, by the way. I did pay up $3.99. I was a little uncomfortable with that, but I thought, well, if nothing else, I will keep these because these are adorable to have some vintage. I'm keeping a few vintage pieces for myself just to have fun. So if anyone knows anything about why these are frosted and nobody else has any of these Westmoreland frosted, and if you're helping me research, don't confuse them with the Anchor Hawking. And then also another thing to take note is the base is round, not square. Anyways, really pretty, huh? Did I bring it in enough? Really pretty. Kind of a pinky peach satin. A little figural for $1.50. So I bought this little sheep figural to try to redeem myself from picking up a Dollar Tree sheep and getting kind of thinking, oh, that's so cute. And I got chastised. Rightfully so. It's not the first time. So I picked this up. I said, okay, now this one is quality. This is actually a RAM, right? And it's signed underneath. I would have to look on my phone again. Its resale value on it somewhere around 15 to 20. Let me see if I can do this real easy. Let me look at my search tab. Oh, you know what? I actually saved it in a draft. When I'm looking up something and I find something similar on eBay, I'll go ahead and save it as a draft and then just take a random picture, you know, just like not pose, just like a picture of the item, just as a placeholder and for my memory. And that way I have all these, you know, drafts kind of ready that I just go in and, you know, these sell similars and just go in and tidy it up and add my own pictures. So it's actually in here. See, there's that Marshall Studio plate. Yeah, there's the frog. I did that. Someone had the frog. I did that. There it is. It's called, oh my gosh, Artiziana Riconda Studio. Here, let me bring it in for you guys. Let me see. There. And see, that's just my finger pointing at mine, just a random picture. When I go to finally do this, then I will edit anything and put my style, the way I talk. This is a sell similar. And so it doesn't come with the pictures, right, with someone else's pictures. So that's why I just quickly snap one of my own as a placeholder and a reminder. I'll wipe that one out and fill it with good ones. Anyways, so that's what I do. It's in my bottom carousel. As I've looked things up and found them, then I just do sell similar. They're all saved down in drafts. So if you don't do that, that's a good tip. I don't know if I came up with that on my own or if it's probably just something because I've heard other people say it too. It's probably just something that we do with time and experience. It just dawns on us. You know, nobody in the reselling community, you know, has come up with anything, you know, just like mind-boggling that they're the only ones that have thought of it. It's like the 100th monkey syndrome. Anyways, let's move on. These are cute, and there's not a lot of these. This is Federal Glass. Let me see. There's 3 of them, okay? But I want to bring one in. Federal Glass. I was expecting them to be Fire King. Okay, let me get the angle. Hang on a minute. I don't know. It's a shield with an F. That's the best I can do, you guys. It's a shield with an F. Federal Glass. Little custard bowls. Milk glass custard bowls with a nice brownish ombre luster. Now, there are a lot of the peach ones, but there's not a lot of this with the brown. These are pretty good, too. Not a lot of utensil marks in the middle. No dishwater hazing. $1.59 a piece. I'm tempted to keep them. I know. It's just because I'm trying to build just a little fun, vintage, whatever fun stuff. A couple of pieces here and there. I'm not a big vintage decorator, but I want a few fun pieces. And this one is somewhat rare of a color, so that would make it more fun to me. And to collect some vintage stuff that is also functional. That makes more sense to me as well. So, but if I do put these up, probably these 3, I wished I had 4, but these 3, I'm going to guess, what, 26? Probably 26. They probably sell at about 20. Anyways, really like those. And someone helped me with this. I hemmed and hawed about this. I don't know how I'm going to show you. It's a sectional. There's 4 of them. It goes on a Lazy Susan. I don't know if this one came with a Lazy Susan or you're just expected to put it on your own. I think they typically, don't they come with matching Lazy Susans? But you could just, if so, you could still sell it as the inserts. Okay, so there's 4 of these that go around. And then this pot. When I bring it in closer, someone helped me figure it out. We kind of did it simultaneously because I didn't know at first, but someone helped me and I'd already figured it out, but she confirmed it for me, a viewer. This is, oh my gosh. Something Pines, Canada. Did I already forget? Because I wanted to say 3 Pines. That's not right. Oh, Blue Mountain, Canada. Because I kept wanting to say 3 Pines. No, that wasn't it. That's what I was calling it when I was going, help everybody. So Blue Mountain, Canada, Look how pretty with that glazing. That's what caught my attention. And then when I realized it was going to be a third off or half off, I said, oh, let's do this. Really pretty. So I will put them up. Well, what did this cost me? About $7, I think. I can't remember now. Where's the one with the tag? Oh, it was on the tape that I took off. They're in great shape, no chips. So I'll sell them as insert, I guess. Sectional Lazy Susan insert. Blue Mountain Canada pottery, and we'll talk about the great glaze. So that is black, dark brown, and then blues and greens. Probably, since it doesn't have the Lazy Susan, but that's not a hard thing to fix. I might even find a Lazy Susan out in the wild that will work with it. I know now to keep my eye out for those kind of random things on the bottom shelves. Lone Lazy Susans for the future. What was I going to say on that? So probably about 40, I'm thinking. I think that would be a good fair price without the just being inserts. And I'm okay to keep it if I'm wrong. All right. Couple more pieces. I recognize this as Austin Sculptures. I've sold these before. The last one I sold was a big dolphin. What did I get for that? About 40-ish? I think it went to Texas. Anyways, it might still be in my solds. It's a 90-day look back. Let me find, okay, there. Can you guys see? You'll see this is like a signature bottom of a lot of their pieces. And then it'll be down in here. Austin Sculpture. And so this is vintage. This particular one is called Kindred Spirit. Resale value, I paid $1.59. That is so weird. I almost was nervous, like they were going to be like, you switched tags, because that's insane. $1.59. But again, it was that Goodwill that was remodeling. And I feel like they just didn't have any place to put things. They were just pricing them real cheap to move. So Kindred Spirits. Somebody has one up for $99. That's a little ambitious. I think one sold last month, 11/8, for, what was it, 60? Anyways, I'm thinking somewhere around 68, 76. Now there's another version similar to this, but it's a more of an adult lady. She seems to be selling for a little over 100, but there are a lot of them. There's only a couple of these. But again, so I feel pretty good that this is going to sell. Pretty good about that. And let's bring over, what else is in here? These were still there. I was upset I didn't buy them the first time. I'm like, why didn't you buy those? So this time they were half price, $1 a piece. Because I noticed, even walking around the antique mall, I'm like, nobody, like, I know people are still making these, right? These little crocheted stockings. But there's not a lot for sale, and not a lot show up at the thrift store. So I think people are really keeping them, apparently. So I think someone might be interested in that. And then when I found this little crewel set, is that what you call it, with the plastic, yarn on the plastic, for $1, I'm like, these coasters, and I'm going to put this together. I'm going to put this together as a set. I was going to send it as some fan mail to Ashley, Rose, and Avery, her daughter, but I already sent that out. I already sent out all my fan mail. If you watch me on Instagram, I used that new company, Sendle. They were offering everyone $1 on Black Friday. That 24 hours, $1 shipping. For anything up to 10 pounds, I think it was, or 20, in a decent size box. I mean, not like big boxes, no. But that's how I sent it. I took advantage of that deal and sent out some Christmas gifts and some fan mail. So I think I will bundle these together and probably put it up for like 30, and they'll probably sell around 25. That's what I think on these. Okay, 2 more pieces, you guys. Willowstone Flea Market. That was a good trip. I need to go back. There's a couple of things I want to go back for. I think I want to go back for that picture. If you watched that video, did you see the luminosity of those waves? I live in the mountains, yes. But I think I want to go back and get that picture. Now, if it's not too much, And I don't think it's a famous artist, or it wouldn't just been sitting in a half-price booth. And I hope, and as an artist, I know that what I'm going to say might be a little offensive. I'm not sure. Depends on how you want to look at it. I'm an artist, so I'm, you know, I have an artistic temperament. But I kind of want that picture, but I don't want the lighthouse. You know, I'm in Colorado. But I want those waves. I think I want that, and I want to put it in the laundry room or the bathroom. I like that luminosity color. I think I'm going to get it and have it cropped. Okay. I hope that's not too rude. And then that fish thing, the more and more I think about that fish thing that someone said was a pencil holder, that was glass fish vase with a flower frog built in, $11.95. That's a bit much, but the more I think about it, I did even check to see if that booth had a sale. I think I want to go back and check that out again. I tried to take a picture of the video so I could like Google Lens it, but there wasn't a good angle, a good shot. So I think I need to go back and double check that. And there was one other thing. Oh, I forgot my pink Mile High yardstick for $3. I totally spaced it on the way out. So I'm probably going to drop by and go back. I think I'm going to time it where I can check out the Gordman's auction when they come back from their break. Anyways, I did buy this for myself. $7. It turns out it is Indiana glass. These sell for $20 to $40. I don't know why. Why is such a gap? This is a beautiful iridescent carnival glass. This is perfect. I'm glad that it is a brand name Indiana glass, not just one of their copies, is what I was afraid of. So my thinking was, well, if you're going to do vintage, you know, you have to have a fairy lamp, you have to have some kind of nesting something or other, and, you know, a couple other things that you just have to have. You have to have some Pyrex, right? So, there's plenty of meat on the bone for resale. But I think I'll keep this as my first one until I find something a little bit more unique. So, kind of happy about that for $7. Because I don't want to pay full retail price for it, right? I wanted to find one thrifty and out in the wild. And so $7, I'm like, well, that's what it would be if it was at the Goodwill. I'm almost sure. I mean, it'd be about that unless I got lucky on remodeling day. The last one. I'm pretty sure this isn't for sale. It's going to have to be local if it is. $12.99. Some of you saw me get this. A lady helped me film. I love this. It's going to get a paint job for me. It sits like this. It's going to get a paint job. I don't know. The cashier suggested, hey, how about snow leopard, white with spots? That could be it. Like, I'm going to double check the muscle structure of this and the face and the type of tail and the length, you know, little details like that, and see what all options I have, cat options I have to repaint this. And if nothing else, it'll just be black again. That's fine, but this wood is definitely going to be done in a better color scheme. So, and we're going to put it somewhere. Steve likes it too. So if I did want to paint this up and fix it and resell it locally, I would probably ask, this is vintage, made in Mexico. I would probably start out asking about 80 and see what would happen. I'm thinking probably 60. My gut's telling me about 60. I love it. I thought it was resin, but it's not. It is all ceramic. It's hollow too. So I hope there's no contraband in there. All right, you guys, that was great. So this was Thrifted for Resale number 38. And I'll wrap it up. I'm going to do a live show sometime this week because I have a lot of people wanting to ask, like new sellers wanting to ask about reselling tips, about eBay tips, because this is my second year as an eBay seller diversity advocate. And so we volunteer, but I don't blow smoke up your skirt. I keep saying that to everybody. I'm like, I know eBay, good and bad. I'm well aware. But it's still one of the better platforms to make money on online. So answer some questions, take some time to do that. I'll probably do those once every 2 weeks. All right, you guys, thank you very much. I hope you have a great evening, and I will see you later or see you on one of your videos.